Welcome to our YouTube channel named as Cat 2. I am by Manoj Mahajan. Make sure that you subscribe to the channel so that you don't miss out such important videos. Do check out the video till the end. You can expect direct or similar questions in the Snap Test 3. So the session is very important. Do check out each and every question. Now there are two ways to cover up this video. One is you can first go through all the questions through the PDF and then look at the solution to each of the questions. Now to get the PDF, you have to join the Cat2IM Telegram information group. I'll paste the link in the comment box of this video. So do join. Secondly, you can look forward to go through the questions one by one. So when you reach to question number 1, make sure that you spend some time with the question, try to solve on your own, and then you can look forward to the solution. So try to give somewhere close to a minute or maybe less, because Snap is a speed game. And also I'll recommend all of you to check the Snap strategy video, which already I've uploaded on the channel. So the link I'll paste in the comment box again. So that strategy would be the best strategy to crack the Snap paper. So let's come to the questions one by one over here. So the first question, if I look over here, is about the pendulum of a clock. It takes 7 seconds to strike 4 o'clock. So when the clock shows 4 o'clock, so it is going to strike 4 times. Now just remember that the first strike we are going to look at T0. So at the start of the time, the first strike is going to happen. Now in the next 7 seconds, there would be 3 more strikes. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So what we have to understand over here is there are 3 strikes which are happening in the 7 seconds. So it's not like 4 strikes happening in 7 seconds, which is a common mistake done by a lot of students. So now if we want to figure out the time it will take to strike 11 o'clock. So 11 strikes we are looking at. So again, at starting, 1 strike would happen. So we have to calculate how much time would be taken for 10 strikes. So for 3, it is 7 seconds. So 1, it would be 7 by 3. I'm using the unitary method. For 10, it would be 70 by 3. So that is 23.33. So a lot of students will look forward to mark option C, which would be a shit mistake, because this is a mistake they're going to do. They look at 4 strikes in 7 seconds, 1 in 7 by 4, 11. If I look over here, that is 77 by 4, which is 19.25. So this is actually a shit mistake. So the answer will be D over here, not C, which a lot of students are going to get. Let's go to the question number 2. So again, you can pause the video, try on your own, and then look forward to the solution. So the answer to the question is simple. If you know the concept that whatever time you have in the clock and whatever time would be shown in the mirror, the sum total will be 12. So from 12, if I subtract this, I would be able to get the answer. So 12, if I write as 11 hours, 60 minutes, and 60 minutes I can write as 59 minutes and 60 seconds. Now from here, I'm going to subtract 1 hour, 32 minutes and 58 seconds. So what do I get is 0 seconds out here, 27 minutes out here, and 10 hours. So the correct answer is 10:27:02, which is your option number B out here. Such a question you can expect in the Snap paper. So just remember one thing they're asking over here, the R hand turned through how many degrees? So distance, is speed into time. So over here, the distance would be in degrees. So speed, if I look for the R hand, you should know. That is half degree per minute. And for the minute hand also, you should know. Over here, we are not using it, but still you should know while solving the clock question. So the distance traveled by the R hand would be speed is 1 by 2. Time, if I calculate from 12 to 5:10, so in terms of minutes, it would be 5 into 60, 300 minutes plus 10 more. That gives me 310. So 310 divided by 2, if I do, I would be getting 155, which is the correct answer. Now, such a question you can expect in the SNAP. So a lot of students do it with the formula. I generally don't use the formula. Let me look at the clock and try to figure out the answer out here. So 8:35, if I look over here, where would be my R hand? Somewhere in between 8 and 9, and the minute hand would be at 7 exactly. So we have to figure out this angle out here in total. So there are 12 divisions. So every division, if I look over here, would be of 30 degrees. You should be aware of. So one thing is very sure, that if I look at, let's say, the hour hand was at 8 o'clock, and in that case, the minute hand would be at 12. So if you look over here, I'm just denoting with the green color out here. So this would be what? One division, 30 degrees. So definitely the answer would be more than 30. And if you look at the remaining angle which I need to add in this, so that would be this angle blue if I have shown over here. So this is the movement by the R hand. So I can calculate the distance traveled by the R hand again as 1 by 2 is the speed. And how much time, if I look over here, for 35 minutes, right? Because the minute hand has moved from 12 to 7. So that is 35 minutes. So 17.5. So my green angle, which was the 30-degree, and blue angle, that was 17.5. So in total, I have is what? 47.5. So which is my option number 3. Remember, in the snap, they can also look forward to ask you the reflex angle, which would be in this case, this portion. So this would be nothing but 360 minus 47.5. So this can also be asked in the problem. So this would give me what? If I calculate 312.5. So that's a correct answer if I look at the reflex angle. Now, this is again a very standard question which you can expect in the SNAP paper. So they're asking the leap year 2008 would have the same calendar when. So remember one thing, if I look at whatever day was there on 1st Jan 2008, I have to look forward for a leap year after 2008 where the calendar would be same. So I just need to look the number of extra days which are coming, a multiple of 7. So whatever day was 1st Jan 2008, and if I just figure out 1st Jan and whatever year out of these choices which I have, the day should be same, right? So in that case, the calendar would be completely same. And it would be definitely a leap year as 2008 is a leap year. So to repeat the calendar, I have to take the leap year. So you should know one thing, that if you take a 4-year gap, right? In that case, I'll be having one leap year, 2008, because the Feb month is counted of this year. And the other three non-leap years are 2009, 10, and 11, which I'm looking over here. So out of four, one is a leap year, three are non-leap year. Every leap year would have 2 extra days. You should know that. And non-leap year, 1 extra day. So if I look in total, that is 5. So can I say for 4 years, there are 5 extra days? So again, next 4 years, 5 extra days. So how many times I need to add 5 to become a multiple of 7? I need to keep adding 4 7 times. So in total, I need to add 4 into 7, 28 years. So you add 2008 and 28, I would be getting what? 2036. So that would be my right answer. So calendar is an important topic. Clock is important topic. Trigo, log, these are the important topics if I look from the snap perspective. Okay, another calendar question out here. So again, give a pause if you're solving the questions one by one. So give a minute. and then look at the solution. And if you have gone through the entire PDF, then you can straight away look the solution, right? So what is given to us over here is this is Sunday. So the question is, what is the day on this date? Now, what you could have done is over here, just look at the number of years, 1971 to 2001. So if you look over here, there are how many years? 30 years, right? And we have to look at number of leap years for sure. So you should know one thing that for a leap year, the year should be divisible by 4 for sure. So that is a necessary condition, but not sufficient. And of course, you should know that if you have a century, multiples of 100, in that case, it should be divisible by 400 to be a leap year. So remember, like 180, 200, 300, they are not leap year. So over here, if I look, multiples of 4 are there from 1972 till 2000. And 2000 is a century year and divisible by 400. So it's a leap year for sure. So if you look over here, how many multiples do we have in this range of 4? So if you look over here, this is a difference of 28. So I'll divide this by 4. I'll get what? 7 years above 72, and 72 also I need to count. So in total, we have 8 leap years. So 8 leap years, 22 non-leap years, 8 into 2, because every leap year would have 2 extra days. So plus 22 if I do, this will give me what, how much? 38. So 38, make sure that you divide by 7. Remainder is what? 3. So plus 3 if I do, uh, whatever day is over here, I'll be getting Sunday. So from Sunday, if I want to get back to this, I can do minus 3 also. So 1 less if I do Saturday, 2 less Friday, 3 less Thursday. So Thursday was the right answer. This question has appeared in CAT also. And remember one thing, that the SNAP do pick up direct questions from the CAT paper. Okay, so again, we have a calendar question. This is a really time-taking problem. So the presentation is really good of this question over here. So see, either they give you a random date with the year, right? And they ask you what day it would be. So the way you solve that question or the way you solve this one would actually be the same. So it's a time-taking question. And again, I know that a lot of students go on the formula, and using that formula, they try to find out such question answer. But again, I'm not going in on any formulas. I just go on one pattern, which if you can remember, don't try to do it in the exam hall. You should know it before you go and write the snap paper. So 1st Jan, 180 was actually a Monday. Now, with the help of this, we are going to make one pattern. So this pattern you don't have to make in the exam hall. You should know it beforehand. So if you look a pattern of like, let's say 100 years if I add. So in these 100 years, remember, multiples of 4 are no doubt 25, right? But remember that the century year should be divisible by 400 to be a leap year. So the leap years are not 25 over here. It is 24 only. And this would be 76 non-leap year. Into 2, into 1 if I do. So this adds up to 124. All this you should know beforehand uh, before you go to the exam to give the paper. You should be aware of. So remainder is what? 5 if you calculate. So either you do plus 5 or minus 2 if you look at, because see, dividing by 7, the remainder is 5, or 2 short, that would actually be the same. So you just go 2 days back from Monday, that would be what? Saturday. So now if I look over here, this pattern, if I know, I can actually go to any century with ease. So I'll tell you what I mean by that. So if you look over here, let me add over here this pattern. So this pattern you should know beforehand, right? Like if you know the formula, like a lot of students do with the formula, they also learn it by heart. They do write on the piece of paper and then probably try to solve with it. So over here, just remember 2 short. So we went to Saturday. Again, the same pattern over here, 100 years. So we'll get remainder 5. So again, with 7 plus 5 or 2 short, if you say. So this would be Thursday. This would be Tuesday. Now, when you come over here, again, 100 days, 100 years, sorry, not days. So 100 years, if I look over here, now 400 is a leap year. So you would have 25 and 75. So this would be a bit change out here. So the number of extra days now would be 6. So plus 6, if you do or one shot, I'll be getting what? Monday. So what I'm just trying to say is that in any century, I can easily go. So I'm making a block of 100 years out here. So it starts with Monday, and again Monday we have, right? So we have to reach to 2008 for sure. So straight away we could reach 1st Jan. So any century, if I look over here, we can look forward to reach. So 1st Jan 2001, we can figure out easily what day it would have been with this pattern, right? So look at this 401. Uh, this was a Monday. So again, if you add 400, 801, 400, 1201, again 400, 1601, again 400, 2001. So what you can even do is, because there is a pattern of 400 years I took over here, so you can divide this 2001 by 400 and get the remainder, which is what? 1. So whatever you had for 1st Jan 180, that would be for this also. Okay. So why I did a block of 100 years? Because if I want to reach to any century, I can easily reach to that century with ease. So 1st Jan 2001 is Monday. Now we are going to go to 1st Jan 2008, because this is what the year given to us, and then we're going to go to March, right? So it's a really time-taking problem. So I would say that you can skip such a question in the snap paper. So I purposely took this question so that I can make you understand that such kind of problems can be look forward to be skipped, because it's a speed game, right? So you know that as looking at the snap test 1 and test 2, score of 45 plus should give you a call from SIBM Pune and SMHRD. So you have the choice to leave questions also, right, in the 60-minute game. So over here we have what? 7 years. Now in 7 years, 2008 is no doubt a leap year, but the Feb month has not been counted over here. So we'll be just looking at one of the leap year, that was 2004 in this range. So 1 leap year and 6 non-leap years. So 1 into 2 plus 6, if I do, that is 8. 8 by 7, if I do, remainder is what? 1. So what do I get over here is Tuesday. Still the job is not done. We have to reach till March over here. So let me write. Now the question talks about 1st Jan. So it's a very time-taking problem, I think so. This is Tuesday, right? So we have to reach March. So the moment I get 1st March, क्या day है? I can figure out कि Sundays कब आएगा, right? ना? So 2008 में ही जाना है. So when you look at number of days, so I was saying that when you look at number of days, always look at counting exactly one of the dates. Either you can include the starting date or the ending date. Do not include both the dates. Do not exclude both the dates. So normally what I do is कि ये starting वाला I am not counting. I am counting this one. You can do it the other way around also कि आप इसकी ये वाली date count कर रहे हो तो ये मत करना right ना. So I do this. So Jan, if I look 2008 year, it is 30 days we have. I'm not counting the first one. Feb, remember, it would be 29, right? So it's a leap year. So 29 over here. And 1st March, I'm going to count. So just divide this by 7 to get the extra days. So this will give me what? 2. This will give me what? 1. This will give me 1. So 4 extra days we have. So we started with what? Tuesday out here, right? So let's add 4 days over here. Plus 1 Wednesday, plus 2 Thursday, plus 3 Friday, plus 4 Saturday. So this would be Saturday, 1st March 2008. So 2nd March, if I look over here, would be what? Sunday. Now in that 2nd March, keep adding 7, you would get all the days which you would have Sunday. So it was a really time-taking problem. So skip such kind of problems in the snap paper. Okay, such a question should be done. So they're saying today is 7th December, let's say 2024 AD, Saturday. So 100 day from today is what? The simple one. So just divide this 100 if I look over here by 7. So to get the extra days, that is 2. Remainder is 2. So Saturday, if you add plus 2. So plus 1 Sunday, plus 2 if I do, that would be what? Monday. So such a question you should not leave. You should be doing it, right? Okay, I personally feel such a question is actually a GK question if I look over here. So if you are aware of 15th August 1947 was actually a Friday only, right? And 26 January 1950. So Independent Day, Republic Day, probably if I look over here, they're looking at. And as a GK also, you can remember. So January 26, 1950 is actually a Thursday. So we could have marked this with the memory also. But let's calculate how we're going to do it. So again, if I do it, this problem, 15th August 1947 was what? Friday is actually Friday also. So first try to get 15th August 1949. So that we get closer to 1950. So how many years we have? 2 years out here. And if you look in these 2 years, 1948 is your leap year, right? So how many extra days we are going to have in that? Two. So in total, 3 extra days. So we had Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. So this would be nothing but Monday. Now, if you go further, 26 Jan, we have to reach 1950 out here. So again, the problem becomes of counting the number of days. So again, either you include the starting date or the ending date. Do not include both. Do not exclude both. So I'm not counting this. I'm counting this one. So in August, we'll be looking at 16 days. September 30, October 31, November 30, December 31, and January would be 26. So if you divide this by 7 to get the remainder, so let's divide individually. 2, um, 2, 3, 2, 3, 5. So 3 plus 2 plus 2, again, if I look is 7, so remainder would be what? 0 from here. This would be 10. So 10 by 7 remainder would be what? 3. So 0 plus 3, final the remainder is 3. So let's add Monday plus 3, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So by memory also I was aware of, and maybe if you are also aware of it, it could have been done with ease, right? With hardly a few seconds, right? Now trigger is important. So if you look such kind of problem, you can expect in the cat as well as snap also. So actually, I keep teaching cat, so that came to my mind. So more likely, such a question you can get in the snap and snap exam, especially right now. So if you look over here, this is on the concept over here. You should be aware of tan theta is 1 upon cot theta, right? So cot theta, tan theta multiplication is what? 1. And one thing we should be aware of that tan 90 minus theta, if I look over here, so basic trigger we should be aware of, right? Is nothing but cot theta. So if you look this tan 89, so can I write like this tan 90 minus 1, right? So this would be nothing but cot 1. So what I'm just trying to say that tan 1 degree into cot 1 degree using this would be 1. Tan 2 degree into cot 2 degree would be again 1. So if I keep doing the product, it will come out to be 1 pairwise. And in the middle, you would have what? Tan 45. I won't be able to make a pair of tan 45, but tan 45 is 1. So ultimately, the answer would be option B. I hope you're able to understand that pairwise. First and the last multiplication would give me 1. Second and the second last multiplication would give me 1, and so on. And the middle term is tan 45, which would be 1 again. Now, such a question also you can look forward to expect in the snap. Uh, So again, see, remember the conversion. Sine 90 minus theta is cos theta. Tan 90 minus theta, already I told you, cot theta. And in terms of sec also, if you look over here, sec 90 minus theta will be cosec. So sec would be converted to cosec. So this could be written 3 sine 62. Okay, cos 28, if I look over here using the same logic out here, or maybe sine 62 degree, let me convert to cos. So sine 62, if I use this, it will get converted to cos. Sine 62 you can write as what? 90 minus 28, right? So this is what I'm going to have, right? Of course, see in the snap you get choices, right? And so there would have been four choices. So I have not written over here those choices. So of course over there you will find out the choice. Sec 42 could have been written as cosec 48. So now you could have got the answer easily out here. So this is 3, this is 1. So the answer is 2. So basic trigo you can expect in the snap for sure, right? Anna? Okay, of course, such a problem you do get in the snap, and in the test 1, test 2 also you had. So it's easy to figure out such question if you know what to be done, right? So this is actual snap 2020 question also. So what you need to look is like you had the code language. Stat mark means what? Mango juice. Giga mega means what? Healthy food. Stat mega means what? Healthy juice, right? And this is given as less fat. So which of the following could be they're asking, right? Anna? So what you need to do is you look for the common words, right? So like over here, just try to understand. We had like stat over here, right? And stat over here, right? So stat is common out here. So if you look the common in the sentence like mango juice and healthy juice, we have the common is what? Juice. So the stat code is juice that we can figure out. And once you do that, can you look at mark code would be mango, right? And mega code would be what? Healthy. So which of the following could be the code if I look over here for healthy fat? So for healthy, we are going to definitely use mega. And if you look the choices, there is only one option having mega, so we could have marked the answer straight away, right? Now, if we do not get the code for fat also, the options, if I look, the answer would have been A itself, right? But let's have a look for the code for fat also. See, one thing is very sure that, see, we do not have any other stuff over here to figure out the common thing with the fat. So what we can just say is that the fat code could be either Liga or it could be jitter also, right? Anna? So we are not aware of because we do not have any other sentence out here to compare. So what we can say is which of the following could be they are asking. So yes, this is one of the possibility we can have is mega Liga, right? Anna? Otherwise, the fat code could be JTIR also because we do not have more statements to compare. So remember one thing that such kind of questions are damn easy. They should not take much time also. Just look the common words and for that, what is the common code given in the problem, right? So you could easily figure out such problems. Okay. Now, such a question also you can look forward to get in the snap paper. So not difficult, just focus what they're asking. So over here in the first question out here, the 13th, uneducated, right? So what is educated? Circle. So you have to go outside the circle. So whatever you have, the numbers like 9, 2, 6, 7, 8, if you have in the choices, we could straight away ruled out. Yes, so this could be ruled out, right? Now you have to go to urban, hardworking, So what is the urban? If I look over here, they have given is the triangle. So of course we have to limit ourselves to triangle for sure. So the answer could be 4, 3, 2. Sorry, we won't be going inside the circle because the circle stands for educated. We have to look at uneducated, right? So the answer could be from 4, 3, or 5. So we can rule out this also. So either it is 3 or 4 as per the choice. Now, hardworking and honest, they're saying hardworking, if I look, is the square. So when you go to the square again, if I look over this portion, so we are still left out with what? 3 and 4. So we have to surely look at the honest also. The honest is rectangle. So in the rectangle, you get this number 4. So this is the answer, right? So in the same way, you have to do the next question also. So let's say when you go to non-urban educated, so educated, we have to look at the circle. So the answer has to be definitely from 2, 6, 7, 8, and 9. So there is only one choice out of these, that is 7. So there's no need to even work out further. If you want to do it, you can do it. The answer has to be this because we have to look at the educated people for sure. And in the educated is the circle. And the only number out of the circle given in the question is um, 7. So you would have straight away marked the answer, right? So that's a way to save time also. Okay, so this was a tough one to crack in the snap paper. So I would suggest any series question, try to take 30 to 60 seconds, not beyond that. If you can figure out the pattern, well and good, do it. Otherwise, skip, right? So one Rajnikant question also appeared in Snap Test 2 on 14 December, 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. Time slot. And that question was straight away from CAT 2M class. This was way back Snap 2011 question. So if you have done it before, then only you can do it in the exam hall. Otherwise, you have to skip or either you're going to waste time in trying it. It was a Rajnikant question, so uh, completely weird logic. So it was not easy to figure out in the exam. Also, students who have done the class with me, I'm pretty sure that they would have easily done the problem in the exam. Now over here, the pattern was a little tough one because you have a one of the numbers missing out in between, right? So it was actually into 8. Then you had what into 9. Now you have to give a try, right? So maybe 8, 9, it could be 10. So that choice was there, right? And then you have to multiply this with into 11 to check out whether you get this number or not. So that has to be done, right? So if we can figure out, yes, multiplying 2880 with 11, I get 31680, then that is the answer. Otherwise, we have to work out again, right? So B was the answer for this. Okay, ball bounces back to 4/5 of the height it was dropped from each time. If it is dropped from a height of 300 meter, how far will it travel before coming to rest? So in this scenario, you actually get a geometric progression, right? So let's make a, GP out here. See, like initially you would be getting what? H, right? Dropped. I'm just taking a general example with the height H. After making that, instead of H, you can replace it with 300. So now when you it bounce back, so let's say it is dropped from here, H, bounce back is what, 4 by 5 H. Now remember that this would be counted twice. Like it would be, the ball would be going up and then coming down the same height. So this will be twice 4 by 5 H. Then again, if I look 4 by 5 of this, so that would become a square. So again, a double of this. So you get a GP out here, right? Infinite. So what is summed in infinity? If I look over here, that is first term upon 1 minus r, where the common ratio is in between -1 to 1, right? So let's calculate this. H would be separately, I'm adding. So double, I'll do it separately. What is the first term out here? 4 by 5 H. And what is the common ratio? That is 4 by 5. So this is what I get over here. So let's calculate this value. So what do I get is 9H, right? So ultimately, So what is the answer? 2700. So just check out whether you're getting 2700 or not. So do remember that in the snap you have choices. So of course, choices would be given in the paper, right? Now, such a question you should definitely not leave in the snap paper. So you should know the basics of log, then only you would be able to do it. So it was log 8. This could be written as what? Log 8 square. So can I write 2 outside? So what do I get over here? Is nothing but 1 by 2. So why would you leave such a question that could be done in less than 30 seconds, right? Yeah, that's a brilliant question. So you can expect something like this in the snap paper. So remember this result. So maybe if you get something direct in the snap, so that would be really good. So AQ plus BQ plus CQ minus 3 ABC. If you look the result, you should remember this result is A plus B plus C, A square plus B square plus C square minus AB minus AC minus BC. So this sum is already given to you directly, that is 16. This is also given to you directly, that is 98. We just need to figure out this value now. So can I remember this stuff over here? A plus B plus C whole square is what? A square plus B square plus C square plus twice AB plus AC plus BC. So A plus B plus C whole square, we can easily get 16 into 16 out here. What is this? 98 plus twice of this. So you can get the value of AB plus AC plus BC from here. And if you substitute over here, you can get the answer 8. So the answer which is coming out is 304. You can check after doing the calculation. So yeah, direction questions also you can expect in the snap paper. So what is given to you is, you should remember one thing is the direction, first of all, north, south, east, west. So this direction, if I look, is what? Northwest, right? This would be what? Northeast, southeast, southwest, right? So what is given is Debu walks towards east. So let's say somewhere Debu is standing. So he walks east, then towards north, right? And then turning 45-degree right. So clockwise, if I look over here, would be right in this case. So 45-degree would be somewhat this. Okay. So he is over here right now. And lastly, turns towards left. So remember, whenever they say a right turn or a left turn, so it would be a 90-degree turn. So right would be clockwise, would be taking 90-degree turn, and anti-clockwise would be 90-degree left, right. So if you look over here, 90-degree, if I turn over here, this would be 45. And again, if I do 45 over here, so this would be the direction, right? So this is nothing but, can I say, northwest. So direction questions you can definitely expect in the snap paper, right? Why would you leave such a question? You should know the the values of uh, sine 0, sine 30, sine 45, sine 60, sine 90. Same goes for cos also, you should know, and tan also, right? So sine 45-degree is 1 by root 2. Of course, the choices would be there in the snap, right? So you need to look the answer. So this would be the value. So maybe they could uh, give you the choices and just make sure that you are able to figure out the value from the choice. So why would you leave such a question, right? So you cannot leave Trico completely and do right snap, because you would be losing 1 mark straight away with if you leave such an easy one, right? And a lot of students are going to do it. Of course, you can expect something like this in the snap paper. So bell are ringing in these seconds. So the first thing you have to look forward, okay, when they will ring uh, together for the first time, right? So calculate the LCM of these numbers. So remember, for LCM, you go for the higher powers. So over here, 5 will have, 7 will have, 9 we have 3 square. So from there, and over here is what, 2 square into 3. So 2 square you're going to have, right? So this is the LCM. You can calculate the value, but let it be in this way only. How many times will they ring together? Again, the choices would be there for sure. So this is in seconds, this is in hours. So remember to convert 7 into 60 into 60. So minutes, and then we are going to look at seconds. So 5 into 7 into 3 square into 2 square, right? So this would be a little easier to do it like this. 4 and 60, that would be your 15. So 15 into 12 divided by 3 into 3. So what do I get is what, 5, 4. So that gives me 20, right? Again, I would say just spend 30 to 60 seconds. If you can figure out the answer in that duration, well and good. Otherwise, you should move forward. Don't try to waste your time, right? So this was actually a tough one. So one way to look at, see, these numbers, if I see over here, there's a multiple of 3, there's a multiple of 7, there's a multiple of 6. So what you could have done is 39, if I divide by 3, what do I get is 13, right? This would be what if I divide 7 ones 7 and 6 3. So 19 would be there, right? This would be what if I see 6 threes are 18, and this would be what, 34, right? So what you could have done this again, it's a tough one, and it's not easy to crack in the exam. So if you can leave, this would actually be a speed breaker, right? So again, if you've done this problem with us and something same or similar appears in the snap, you could easily crack it, right? So what was given actually out here is not 5 into 3, but yes, 5 into 3 and 2 was subtracted, right? So this gives me 13, right? And then you multiply this with 3, right? So same over here, 7 into mm, just a second. So what is actually happening is in each of these numbers, right? Into 3 minus 2 is happening. So it is very difficult to figure out this logic. Honestly, I would have skipped this question in the snap paper. So 21 minus 2 is 19. That multiplied with 3 gives me, sorry, with 7, not with 3, will give me 133. So this number 3 is over here, this number 7 is over here, and this is the calculation we have to figure out. So again, the same thing out here, 12 into 3, 36 minus 2 is 34. That multiplied with what? 6. So what do I have to do over here is 9 into 3, 27 minus 2, that is what, 25. 25 into 8 will give me what? 200. So that is the answer, right? So it was a super tough problem, difficult to crack in the exam hall. Okay, this was also a bit tough. So again, this time in the snap, if I look in 2025, the series questions are a little easier as compared to what they used to give previous, right? Of course, one of the question Rajnikant did appeared in the snap test 2 on 14 December, right? So what they've done over here is, if I look at look this minus 20, if I see, so give a try and just try to see if you can get the answer. So this is what minus 5 into 5 plus 5 if I do, right? So it's very tough to figure out multiplying this number with minus 5 then adding plus 5. So when you go to the next number, so it's actually what, multiplying this with minus 5 and adding 5, right? Same thing if I do it minus 20, if I do the same thing out here, multiplying with minus 5, that makes 100 plus 5, that makes 105, right? Now when you go to minus 520, how it was? So you had 105 into minus 5 plus 5 again. So the pattern is there, right? So once you're able to figure out the pattern, you can get the answer. So to get the question mark, minus 520 into minus 5 plus 5. So what do I get? 0, 0. So 2605. So that's the answer. Okay, such a question also you can expect in the snap paper. A is 40% more efficient than B. So what is 40% if I look 2 upon 5, right? So let me take B as making 5 units, let's say per day. So A would be 2 by 5. If I calculate a 5 is 2. So A would be doing what? 7 units per day, right? So together they are doing what? 7 plus 5, 12 units per day. So they complete the task in 30 days. So the task was of 30 into 12, right? Now the question is days taken by B alone. So B is doing what? 5 units per day, which we have assumed, right? So let me divide this by 5. So what do I get? 72 days. If they would have asked you, okay, A ने कितने दिन में किया होता, I would have divided by 7, right? So easy one. Within a minute, of course, you can do it, right? Even less than 30 seconds. So this is a set theory question. Such a problem you can expect in the snap. So this is not minus. It is actually maths. 80 people have passed. History 110 and this is 150. So you remember this exactly one, right? See if you add these three together. So this is actually what? Exactly one and exactly two would be twice in this and exactly three would be thrice in this. So there could be students who pass in maths as well as history and economics also, right? So this sum total, if I do it, this gives me what? 150 plus 110 is 260 and 80 is what? 340, right? None pass in exactly two. So what is 2 given to us? 0. So what do I get is 1 plus 3 times of this is 340, right? And 55, they have given pass in all three. So now we can easily figure out exactly one also, right? So 55 into 3, if I do, is how much? 165, correct? So let's calculate exactly one. So that would be how much if I subtract 100, if I subtract, that would be 240, 175, correct? So if I calculate, I can do that. So now the question is number of students pass in at least one subject. So exactly 1 plus exactly 2 plus exactly 3. This would be right. So what is this 175? There's already given to us 0. This is what given to us 55. So what is the answer if I look at 240? Okay, so if you look number of white toys we have to figure out. So total we have is 108. So one of the way we can look at is the chances given, right, of getting a black, that is 1/3. So which means if I calculate 1/3 of 108, that would be how much? 36, right? So these are 36 black toys we have. And if I calculate 4 by 9 of this, what do I have is 48 would be green, right? So let me add this. 84 we have black as well as green together, right? So white if I want to find out, so let's subtract from 84 from 108. So 24 would be the answer, right? Now this is a very easy question. If you have done the concept of compound interest, which is a successive concept, and you can use a geometric progression concept out there. So see a principal becoming 2p in what? 5 years, they are saying, right? So again, double would be in 5 years. So double factor would happen in 5 years, right? So again, this is 5 years. Again, this is what? 5 years. So 20 years now from the beginning, if I look over here. So this is 15,000. So this would actually become what? 15,000 into 16. So you need to calculate this. So 3 times 0 will have 15 into 16. I can do 15 into 15 first. That is 225 plus 15. That is, I get 240. Correct. So 2 lakh 40,000 should be the answer. Yep. Now, such a question you should definitely not leave in the snap. So over here, what is given to us is A and B 3, 4, B and C 3, 2. So this could be the common number out here we can make by the LCM concept. So 4 and 3 LCM is what? 12. So let me multiply this with 3. So this will also be with 3. So what is A? 9. What is B? What? 12. Into 4, this is again 12. And this would be what? Into 4, that is 8. So let's add this total, how much it is? 29. So 29 unit is given is actually what? 145. So 1 unit would be what? 5. Now you can get A also, B also, C also. We have to find B. So let me multiply this with 5. 60 would be the answer, right? Yeah, this is an interesting problem, and maybe you can get this again in the snap. Maybe exactly same also, or the concept would be same, right? See, this part you can easily add. Log 10 is what? 1. This will be 2 log 10. So 2, 3 log 10, 3. Log 10 is 1, right? So what do I get is still 7. So this is 7 into 8 divided by 2. That is 28, right? Now this you can write as what? Log 873 by 1000, right? Now this can be written as what? Log 873. I'm using that rule. Log m by n is what? Log m minus log n, right? So can you write like this? And 28 you have from outside. So what do I get as log 873 log, this would be 10 cube. So minus 3 it will become plus 28. So that is plus 25. So that is my option C out here. Yeah, this is an interesting problem. So you can expect in the snap again. So 4 cube is given as 56. So 1, twice, thrice. There's actually 1. So 4 times. This is also 1, right? So once, twice, thrice, 4 times, 5, 6, 7. And this also what? 1. So 8, 9. So 9 times we have 4 cube, right? So let's add 56 9 times, right? So now it appears to be a little easier. So that would be nothing but 504. Spend some time and then you can figure out what is the logic. So over here it is, this is 3, this is 27. So they're talking about whatever the analogy you have over here. Try to figure out same thing over here. So this could be into 9 over here, right? But you don't have a number like 27 into 9. The numbers are a little big, right? So this could be 3 cube also. So 27 cube we have to do. And when you're doing 27 cube, you can try do it with the unit digit stuff also. So 7 into 7 is what? 9. 9 into 7 is 3. So there's a chance of 3 cube happening over here. So the value will come out to be 19683. And if you understood that it is cube which is happening, so you can, in that case, you can look forward to do it with the unit digit because only one option has 3 out here. Yeah, this was a wonderful question. So again, the choices would definitely be there, right? So it's all memory-based snap question. So at times you don't remember the choices out there. So only 7-digit numbers can be formed using these, which means one has to be used twice. They're saying 2 twice, 0, 3, 5 once. So first, get all the numbers, and of course, you won't be getting just 7-digit out here. You would be getting 6-digit also. That we will subtract, right? So if all would have been different, 7 factorial, there are 7 digits, right? But 2 are of one type, 2 are of the other type. So divide by 2 factorial, divide by 2 factorial. And now minus what will be doing? All the 6-digit numbers. And how would you get that? When you have 0 out here, right? So this 0 would be used. And now we are going to make all the 6-digit numbers 6 factorial divided by 2 factorial, 2 factorial, right? So you can get the value of this, which is coming out to be, I guess, 10808. So you can do the calculation. I'm just going quick on this discussion part. Okay, this was a wonderful question, which again appeared in the snap. So choices would be there, and when you have choices, it become a little easier. So what is given over here is like, look, 99, 88, the first 2 days, if you look 77, 66. So this should be 55. So once you look at the choice, you would get some idea also. And then if you look at 9 into 2 is what, 18. 8 into 3 is what, 24. 7 into 4 is what, 28. 6 into 5 is what, 30, right? This is what we are getting, right? And one more interesting thing, if you look out here, the third digit, right? 2, 3, 4, 5. So this should be 6. So choices would definitely help, right? And the next, if I look, is what, 5 into 6, if I do, that would be 30. So this should be the answer to the problem, right? So it could have been figured out if we had the choices also. That makes the problem a little easier, right? Yeah, you can expect such question again in the snap. So what is happening is, look, the one of the stuff is in capital, right? Capital A, capital B, C, D, E. So you would have F, but shifting is happening, right? So A, then B over here, C again at the first position, D at the second position, E at the first. So you would get F at the second position, right? And this you can look out first. See, you can use the word ejoti. I keep teaching that in my classes also to get the position of the letters very fast. So E is at 5, this is at 10, this is 15, this is at 20, this is at 25. So with the help of this, we can easily figure out the letter position very fast. So let's see how we're going to do that. So A is at 1, C is 3, F, is 6, J, J, if I use, that is 10, and this what? O. So O is at what? 15. So this is a very interesting series, 1, 3, 6, 10, 15. So you should remember this. This is 1, 1 plus 2, 1 plus 2 plus 3, 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4, 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5. So the next would be what? 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6. That would be 21. So you can get like this, or maybe if you look the differences, differences are very, very important when you look at the numbers. So 2, 3, 4, 5. So differences are in AP. So this is also the way to figure out. So at 21, you would be getting what? 20 by T है, तो RSTU. So that is U, and that would be in the small. So UF. Again, such a question should not be difficult in solving. So everything is given in terms of E out here. So just replace A, B, C, D with E. So what is A? 4 times of E. What is B? 1/4 of E. What is C? E minus 4. What is D? E plus 4. That's it. And you can get the answer. Why would you leave such a question right now? So this would cancel out. And 4E plus 2 is 6E plus, into 4 would be 24E plus E would be 25E. I hope you understood what I've done over here. So just the calculation I'm doing. So what is E I have is 32. Okay, so A can finish the work in 10 days. So 10, B in what, 15. So let's take the work to be LCM of this. This is the way I keep doing it in my classes also. So 30. What is the rate for A? We got 3. What is the rate for B? We got is 2. So 3 units per day, 2 units per day, right? Now together they work it for 5 days. So A worked, A worked for 5 days. So A did 15 units. B did what? 10 units. Rest of the work is done by C in 2 days, right? So, okay, how many units are left out? Let's look at. So 25 done by A and B. 30 minus 25 if I do is what? 5. So what I feel is that the money should be divided in the amount of units done by A, B, C, right? Respectively. So let's calculate that ratio 15, 10, 5, which is what? 3, 2, 1. So the sum of these is what? 6. So 6 would be 450 given over here. So 1 unit would be what? Hmm, 75. Now you can calculate respectively for each of them. So you have to look at the choices also. So 3 would be 225, 2 would be 150, and 1 would be 75. So we have to look at this option, right? Okay. Such a question should be done in the snap paper if you get, and this is the question I think so, which appeared in one of the CAT paper, and they can pick up directly. So you should know this basic over here of cone that let's say over here it is what 27 height you have, and okay, one part is 18 and total is 27, so the other part is 9. So let's say if this volume is V1, right, and this is V2. So V1 is a cone volume, right? And V1 plus V2 will also be the cone volume. And you should remember that there's nothing but ratio. It's a cube of the ratio of the height if you do, or maybe the cube of the ratio of radius also you can look forward to do it, right? So over here it is the height stuff. One is 9, the other is 27, and a cube of it if I do it. So 1 by 27. So if V1 is 1, let's say, and V1 plus V2 is 27, right? What is given to us? The difference, if I look over here, okay, not the difference between V1 and V1 plus V2. What is given is difference between pieces, right? So V1 is 1, V2 would be what? 26, correct? If sum total is 27. So this difference 25 is given to us as 225. So you can say 1 unit would be what? 9. So now the volume of the original cone, that is 27 they're talking about. So 27 into 9, which is what? 3 to the power of 5, which is 243. Okay. So such a question you should do it, and you should know the basic of it. You cannot leave such a question at all, right? And so basic geometry it is. Area of regular hexagon you should know. The hexagon we divide into 6 equilateral triangles. So let's say the side of the regular hexagon is A. So 6 into root 3 by 4 side square, right? And the area of the equal triangle you know is root 3 by 4. And what is the side over here given? 12. So 12 into 12. So now you can easily get the value of A easily by cancelling out everything out here. So cannot leave such a question, right? So you can even expect direct question also in the snap paper. And होता क्या है कि cat पढ़ाते पढ़ाते you always feel like saying cat and then you have to stop yourself and say snap. So that's the way out, right? Okay. Interesting question, and this could be looked at with the choices also. So if you read this, see, I'm just assuming let the speeds be x kilometer per hour and y of the two C travelers, right? Half an hour means what? X by 2. I'm calculating the distance right from this point, and the other would be at y by 2. This is given 17, right? So remember that the triplet 8, 15, 17 could have been used in the problem out here, right? So they do use time to time, right? So what do I have is one equation x by 2 whole square, right? Plus y by 2 whole square is what? 17, right? So you can try to use choices also. X and Y is given in the choices, right? And if you look the other statement out here, which could be made if you want to use the entire maths, another 15 minutes means 30 plus 15, 45 minutes. So let's say if X speed is more, so what do I get? 3 by 4, 45 by 60, I convert it into hours, minus again this. This is nothing but what? Difference 10.5, right? So what do I have is 3x minus 3y is equal to 42. X minus y is what? 14. So even if you look the rather than looking at mathematically solving this, getting the entire equation in terms of one of the variables, better would be if you look the choices. Difference is 14, and I think so only one choice is there. So that's a way to look at the problems also. And it's very much possible that the triplet would have been formed 8, 15, 17. So if we put x as 30 and y as what, 16. So 30 by 2, you get what, 15 square, and this is what 8 square. So highly likely that this should be your, so this is, sorry, 17 square, right? So we are using the Pythagoras out here. So such kind of questions are a bit time taking because you have to find out the wrong one, right? So finding out the next term is slightly still easier. So look at see, always make sure that you use the difference concept. So that difference concept is definitely must to figure out the series pattern. So when you do that, let's say 1, 10, 24. How much is this? 49, right? How much is this? 81. Okay, how much is this? 121. You can see some pattern, right? 11 square, 9 square, 7 square, 1 square. So high likely odd number squares are coming out. So 3 square should be 5 square. So this should have been 25. This should have been 9. To make that, if you look, I replace the number 13 with 12. So 3 and 12 difference, I'll be getting what? 9. 12 and 37 difference, I'll be getting what? 25. So 13 was the wrong number out here. That's my one of the lucky numbers also right now. Okay, such a question you can again expect in the snap paper. So they are fond of such kind of problems. So I just do it with the basic common sense. So let's first write the parameters which are given to us. Days is what? 50. How many people we have is what? 105. How many hours per day we had to do the work? That is 8. Work is complete, right? 1 minute, right? But what happened? Let's say uh, after 25 days, right? So 25 days work has been done, right? And we are left out with 25 days because total was 50, right? How much work has been done by those 105 men? 2/5 only, right? Correct. How many additional men will be employed? See, if I look again, because 25 days are left out, so in these 25 days, if I just keep 105 men, only 2/5 of the work would be done, right? And we have to do how much? Remaining work, that is 3/5, right? So they're saying you can look forward to work 9 hours per day, and how many additional men we have to figure out, right? So start with the question mark, which is missing. This is what the way I do it. Write the number in front of that, that is 105. Okay. Now days are same, so no change because of the days out here. Okay, now the number of hours per day you have more, right? So number of men required would be less. So in that case, you would be multiplying with a number less than 1. So I'll be doing what? 8 by 9, right? Now the work is more, so you would be dividing with the number, or sorry, multiplying with the number more than 1. So it would be 3 by 5 divided by 2 by 5. It's something like that, right? If you require more men, so see, we have to find out men. Now the men relation we have to see with days also, with hours per day also, work also. So the work was more, so we require more people, right? And now we were doing more hours per day, so we require less people. So that's what I'm looking at. So let's calculate this value out here. So 140. So 140 should have been there in the choices, and people would have done that a silly mistake. They forget that additional men they're asking. So already we had 105. Let me subtract that. So you get what? 35. Okay, such a question also you can expect in the snap. So yeah, I would be doing with numbers again. I do love using numbers in the arithmetic portion. So, okay, total age of Chawla and Patil, right? Let's look at first total age. 20% more, so that means 1 by 5, right? So if this is 5, this would be 6. Just I'm picking up the numbers, right? Because we have to get the answer in percentage. So I'm using that method out here. Now the average age, if I look over here, is what? Of the Chawla family is 25% less. 25% is 1 by 4. So if I assume this is 4, this would be 3, right? 1 less. Now how to get the number of members? Total divide by the average, you can do it, right? So what do I get is 6 by 3, that is 2, and this would be 5 by 4. See, of course, the number of members would be a natural number, right? Over here, it is coming out as a fraction, but we just need to work the percentage so I can use these numbers also, right? So number of members in Patil family is what percentage of the number of members of Chawla? So 5 by 4 would be in the numerator divided by 2, which would be 5 by 8 into 100 if I do, which would be 62.5, right? Again, calendars is a favorite of Snap, right? So if you want to answer this, let's put that 30th December we have is what? 2005 Friday. Again, you have to count the first number of years from 30 December directly to 30 December 2009. We should go, right? So how many years we have? 4. How many leap years in between? We have only 1. So 4, 1 leap year, 3 non-leap years. Again, we have is what? 5 extra days. So either you do +5 or -2 would be same. So 2 less if I do, that is Wednesday, right? Don't mark Wednesday, वैसे ऑप्शन में है नहीं, होना चाहिए था. So अभी अपन को जाना है कहाँ पे? 3rd Jan पे, right? है ना? Next year, 2010. So either include the starting date or the ending date. Do not include both. Do not exclude both, right? So I'm not counting this. I'm counting this. So December में you have 1 and Jan में you have 3. 3 plus 1 is 4. So Wednesday में +4 करो. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday should be the answer. Okay, this was a speed breaker in one of the snap paper in the past, right? So tough one. So if you look the pattern in this question, what is happening is if you see throughout this letter A and C, you have everywhere, है ना, over here, outside this bracket, if you look. So one thing is sure that you should have something like this in the options also, right? So you can rule out the option A and B over here. But yes, you are left out with the 2 choices out here. So if you look what is happening, it was a tough one to crack for sure in the exam also. Again, 30 to 60 seconds you have to give trying answering it. If you can solve it, well and good. Otherwise, you should leave it, right? So what is happening is that this letter B jumps outside, right? So look, you get what? ABC. Uh, then this letter A jumps over here, you get what? ABAC. Then this letter B again jumps over here, you get what? ABC, right? Then again this letter A would jump over here, right? So you get what? ABAC. Now again B would jump, so you would be getting what? ABABA, B out here, that is option C out here. So it was a tough one, right, for sure. Again, maybe tough one to crack. So the pattern was over here. These two numbers, if I see -5, these two numbers, but again -5. So the answer was 13 to have the same pattern -5 over here. So it was a tough one to crack, right? Okay, such a question you can do with ease. Just focus on what has not been added, right? So over here, the water has been added. So the wine would remain same. So let's calculate first how much wine and how much water we have. So it's 18 is to 7. If I look over, so 18 plus 7 is what? 25. So 25 is what? 75 given to us. So 1 is what? 3 units, right? So what is 18? If I look 54, and this would be what? 21. So this is a way we can do the breakup, or you calculate what? 18 by 25 of 75 and 7 by 25 of 75. So wine was not added, right? So the ratio is not 2 is to 1. So this 2 part is what? 54, right? So that would still remain 54. So 2 is 4. 1 would be what? 27. So how much is the addition of the water? 6. So that's the way we can do it if we want to answer in 30 to 60 seconds, right? So that would be with ease. Okay, so the given a code language master is coded like this, and how will love be coded as, right? So you can see one common letter out here, that is A, and over here also we have A, right? So you can say that A has been coded at 7. So you can find out this in two options, right? So highly likely that C and D should not be the answer. Now you can figure out the pattern by spending some time, but if you look one thing out here, like if you look alphabetically, right? Like A, we are looking at 7, right? And what was E? 31, right? So you can just see one thing out here, that as per the letters, right? Like A value is 7, then E is 31, M is what? 79. So one thing is very sure, if you look over here, uh, left out is what? This is what? S, T, and R. So as per the alphabets, right, the values are increasing, right? If we look at A being 7 and uh, T being 121. So if you take a letter beyond T, right, like you have in this case U, R, S, T, U. So the value of U should be more than 121. That's what we can look forward to figure out. And if we are stuck with A and B, we can see that more than 121 is this value. So this could be marked, right? So this is one of the way to look at, right? And this is a very interesting way I've shown you. With the pattern, if you look at, you have to first use the word majority and write the positions out here. This is what 13. If I use this, what 1, R, S, T. So this is 19, this is what 20, this is what 5, this is what 18. So what is happening is 79 is 13 into 6 times are doing it and plus 1, right? So 1 into 6 plus 1. So that's what is happening. Like 121, how you got? 20 into 6 plus 1. So in the position of the letters, they are multiplying first with 6 and then adding 1. So it was tough to crack in this way. But I told you that options always help in the uh, exam, right? Now, this was a straightforward problem. Straight away on the log property, the snap people have given this stuff. So this is actually plus. If not visible, let me write away. This was also plus. So you don't have any property like this. You don't have any property like this. This is also wrong, right? This is the right property. So you should know there are 6, 7 properties of log. Just revise them. Okay, so log 11 to the base 10 is given this. Can you write log m by n is what? Log m minus log n, right? So can I write like this? Log 1 is what? 0. Now I can use log m into n property. That is log m plus log n. So this could be written as what? Correct? So basic log concept is there, right? Na? Log 11 to the base 10, they are saying is a. This is what? 1. So this is what we get the answer, right? Such a question also you can expect in the snap. So probability of Sonali selection is 1 by 7. Meenal is 1 by 5. Exactly one we have to figure out. Let's say Sonali gets selected. So menial not getting selected is 1 minus 1 by 5, which is 4 by 5. I need to multiply that. So this is Sonal being selected. Then you have to look at menial. So Sonal not getting selected is 1 minus 1 by 7. That is what, 6 by 7. And this would be what, 1 by 5. So this gives me what, 35. This is what, 10. Ultimately, on simplifying, I do get this. So don't leave such a question. It's an easy one, right? Of course, you can expect questions on the uh, time taken by the train to cross the man, time taken by the train to cross the platform. So you should know that basic, right? And so that this one of the case which I picked up, right? So the two trains are moving in the opposite direction. So time taken to cross each other is what? Sum of the length of the train divided by the sum of the speeds. Correct? So remember the units, that's very, very essential. 1 kilometer per hour is what? 5 by 18 meter per second. So you have to convert accordingly. So this is time given in seconds, right? Length given in meters, one of the, okay. So both the train 108-meter long and 112-meter long. So that both the length are given. Speed of one of them is missing, right? So that's what we have to find out, right? So multiply this with 5 by 18. So because time is in seconds, uh, distance over here is in meters, so we have to convert in meter per second, right? So uh, you can calculate the value of S2 now from here, which would be straight away in kilometer per hour. So that is D for Delhi if you calculate the answer. Okay, very important, right? Such a question you can expect again in the snap. So let's look at the way out. So we'll assume over here, every man is doing M units per day and every woman is doing W. So equate the work to get the relation between men and women. So work is how much? 4M plus 3W and how many days? Into 6. So there's a work which we have equated out here. When 5 men and 6 women work, so 5 men plus 6 women and how many days? 4. So this would be giving a relation between men and women. So let's do that. So this is one of the way to look at solving such kind of questions, right? Okay, so 2 men is same as 3 women, what we are able to figure out, right? So now to get the answer, either complete the entire data, convert, I mean, the entire data into men or maybe women, the choice is yours. So let's say if I convert into women, so 4 men would be equivalent to 6 women. 6 plus 3 is 9. So how many women we have is 9. How many days they are working out? 6, right? Now, if you convert this into again, sorry, this one, how long would 2 women and 3 men take to do the same job? So any one data you can convert, either convert this or this, and then for this you have to figure out the answer. So 3 men would be equivalent to what? 1 man would be 3 by 2. So 3 men would be 9 by 2. 9 by 2 plus 2. So 13 by 2, right? So we have to figure out this 13 by 2 women and how many days. So use again that common sense way out. So days relation we have to figure out with women. So women are now less, right? So the days required would be more. So you have to multiply with a number more than 1. So 9 divided by 13 by 2. So how much do I get? 108 by 13, which is your option on the C. So make sure that you do know the concept how to solve such a problem. Yeah, interesting. So it's like a blood relation question out here, and generation tree should be used to make the problems a little easier. And of course, you'll find out this to be a little difficult in terms of time taking, right? So you have to use options because which relation indicates. So going option by option, and if you're not able to get the answer with the first choice which you pick up, You have to try with the other. So that would make a little difficult for you, right? In terms of the time. So try avoid such question when you have to look at the options and do it, right? So I'll show you that the answer is C for Calcutta. Let me tell you how. So see, whenever you're picking up the choices, right? Anna, so it's better that you pick from the either from the fourth choice or maybe from the middle. It may be possible that you get the answer faster, right? So peach and melon. So they could have given A, B also, you know, but they wanted to present in a beautiful way. Apple, Burberry, you know. So peach and melon, if you look the relation, peach is the brother of melon. So same generation they would be, right. So I'm just using the letter P for peach and M for melon. And brother is a positive background. Positive is for boys or maybe male, and negative is for female or girls, right? Okay, now if I go to this relation out here, melon is mother of narangi, right? Okay, oh God. So let me put like this. Okay. Now when you come to narangi and jackfruit, this is the relation. Narangi is the sister of jackfruit, right? So can you put like this? Now they are saying what is the relation? Now how is the which relation indicates the name of the indicates the name maternal uncle of jackfruit is peach. So if you look, सी पी जो है जे का क्या हुआ मेटल अंकल ही हुआ राइट क्योंकि पी और एम ब्रदर सिस्टर है राइट है ना सो सी वाज द राइट आंसर आउट हियर बट इट इज अ टाइम टेकिंग प्रॉब्लम ट्राई अवॉइड इन द snap if you have to look at the options and do it right if something direct is there with the options then it's a different case altogether right like what I mean to say like D for Delhi option could have been straight away ruled out like look peach and santra, right? So if you look over here, this relation they're talking about, peach is the mother of santra. तो peach आपका फीमेल हो जाएगा तो आपका जो है peach जो है अंकल नहीं हो सकता राइट है ना so this option could have been ruled out straight away so at times you have if you do with the options also but the options are so straightforward that you can rule out very fast then maybe you can do it otherwise if it's a time taking options leave it right. Okay, such a question, yes, you can expect, and just try yourself first, and maybe you would be surprised that you got it incorrect, right? So, pointing to a woman. So, just make the generation tree whenever you're solving such a question. So, pointing to a woman, a man said her father, right? Okay, so this is woman's father we are talking about. Her father is the son of my father, right? So, now there are two possibilities, and one of the options should have been actually just uncle. Then people would have got confused. But over here, the first case, people would be able to figure out, right? So her father is the son of my father. So like you can have like this, the man over here, right? So a man said woman's father, right? Is the son of my father, right? And so if you look over here, man's father, can I put over here, right? In that case, of course, how would be the man related to the woman? He would be uncle. So uncle people will be able to figure out. So one of the choice should have been given uncle over here. So it would have made a little difficult for people to get it correct, right? So there could be another case also out here. Now, once you get uncle, of course, you would be looking at marking this only because other options don't have uncle, right? So it becomes easier in that case. So uncle option should have been separately given, right? So let's say you have woman over here. Uh, This father is the man itself, right? So this is also a possibility. Her father is the son of my father, right? So this is also a possibility out here. So Always try do it in this way, the generation tree, so that things are a little easy for you, right? Okay, so these two series questions are also you can expect in the snap. So थोड़ा सा tough है 55 question over here. So what is given over here is like 41 is 81 into half. So if you have a factor like half, multiplying with half, adding with half gives you 41. So that becomes a little challenging, right? And so 42 is what 41 into 1 plus 1, right? So having fractions being used, series becomes really tough, right? So difficult to crack in the exam hall. So 42 into 1.5 plus 1.5, right? So, and again, it's one of the term missing in the middle, right? And so again, you have to check out the answer. So this question mark, if I go further, is what 64.5 into 2 plus 2. So that gives me 131. Of course, you have to check the next 330 out here. So you are able to figure out with the same pattern. So 131 into 2.5 plus 2.5. So it was a tough one, right? This was easy, and something like this has already appeared in the Snap also 2025. So like it is 15 into 1 plus 1, 16. Then you have what 16 into 2 plus 2. Then you have what into 3 plus 3. Then you have what into 4 plus 4. So what do I have over here is into 5 plus 5. So you can use the unit digit also. 5 into 4 would give you what 0. 0 plus 5 to 1 to 5 should be the answer. Unit digit helps a lot right now. Okay, truth and false kind of problem, which also you can expect in the snap. Again, I was about to say cat. Okay, so they're saying everyone is saying two sentences, and one of them is true and the other is false, right? So again, you have to do with the assumption. Again, you can start with the backward stuff over here. So let's say if I pick up Krishna. So Krishna is saying, I did not do it. I don't know who did it, right? So one of them I have to assume true, the other false. So let's say if I say this is false, let's assume I did not do it. If this is false, it means he has done it, right? And if he has done it and he's saying I don't know who did it, so this would become false. So this being false and this being true, not possible, right? But you can have the other way around. So that's the only possibility left out, true and false. So I did not do it, that is true, right? So Krishna cannot be the answer. I don't know who did it, so he might know who has done it, right? Okay, so Krishna did not do it. Matthew statement, this would be becoming true, and this would become what? False. I did not do it. So if this is false, it means Matthew has done it. If you want to check John statements, one would be true and the other false, you can do it. But in the exam perspective, if you are able to get the answer, just move on, right? So I did not do it. That would become true, right? And this would become false. Matthew did not do it, which is a false, right? Okay, such kind of problem also you can expect. So let's make a seating arrangement out here, right, left. They are giving five positions. Q is sitting third to the right of P. So you would have two cases out here. Let's say if P is here, Q would be here, right? I'm just assuming that facing north, right over here. Or the other possibility could be this, correct? S is sitting to the immediate right of T. So this is the position out here. Immediate right we have to look at, okay? Now R is sitting to the left of S. So this case I have to rule out and I have to fix R over here. So who is sitting in the middle? That is T. So such kind of problems you should definitely do it right. Okay, traffic lights. So we have done something similar we in this session only. So the first thing what you do is you take out the LCM of these numbers, right? So For LCM, you go for the higher power. So what do I have is 2 to the power of 4 into 3. 48 I'm writing. This is what 2 cube into 3 square. This is what 2 square into 3 cube. Correct? I'm just factorizing it, right? So the LCM is what 2 to the power of 4 and 3 to the power of 3. This is the LCM we have. So let's calculate this value because this is the time after which they would be uh, change simultaneously, right? And that's what the question talks about. So 7 a.m. they've already given, and now next what time it would be, we have to just convert this as per the options also if we had. So let's look at the calculation out here. So this is what 16 into 27, right? Can I do 16 into 25 plus 2? So this would be what 16 into 25 plus 32, right? This would be what 100 by 4. What do I get? 432 finally, right? So 432, if I look at converting into minutes also, so 420 plus 12 if I write separately. So this would be nothing but what? 7 minutes. And this would be separately 12 seconds. So we have to look at the choices first, right? And I have to mark the answer. So the time should be something like this, 7, 0, 7, and 12. So this should be the answer, right, Anna? So I did not have the option. So options are important, of course. So the last question of the day, and probably I would be finishing off this session. So do subscribe to the channel for sure. So clock loses 5 minutes per hour. So 60 minutes or maybe 1 hour if I say 5 minutes, it is losing, right? Correctly was 6 a.m. on Monday, and then they're saying 6 p.m. on Tuesday. So 6 a.m. Monday to 6 p.m. Tuesday. If I look, total duration is what 36 hours, right? Yep. So in 36 hours, it is going to lose how much? 36 into 5, that would be what? 180 minutes or 3 hours, I can say, right? So instead of 6 p.m., it should have been 3 p.m., 3 less if I do it. So we have to see the choices for sure. So wish you all the best for the snap. Do subscribe to the channel, and we'll be coming with videos on ZAT 2026, and of course, uh, coming up videos for CAT 2026 also. So do subscribe and do share it with the Snap aspirants. Do join the CAT2IM Telegram information group so that you can get this PDF and the other updates as well, and the free material also. Thank you so much.